Will the upcoming H3 tank be a piece of shit? Let's find out. Let us first take a look on the armor of that thing. So as you can see, it will not bounce much or anything, I guess. But this is only against its own shells and its own penetration with around 248. So already at this amount of penetration, it will bounce basically nothing. But if we take for comparison the Progetto 46, which has, I would say, like a kind of decent or good penetration at tier 8 with 212, you can see the H3 will actually be able to bounce those shells if enemies are shooting just standard ammunition. So I would say against lower tiers, for example tier 8s or most of tier 7 as well, of course, the armor normally will work if they are not shooting directly at your weak spots, and it has definitely weak spots. For example, the cupola here, that thing here, the little turret on top of the turret, and those things will be very easy to hit weak spots, I guess, at the top of a turret if you're kind of mid-range or close by. So all in all, I would say armor will not be the big thing of this tier 9 premium heavy tank. Let us take a fast look about other tanks like the AMX 50-120, the T-54E1 or the Emil 2, which are all kind of autoloader heavy tanks with a little bit the same playstyle, I would say, even though the H3 will be a little bit something special. You can already see it has the best DPM because it has kind of a slow reload time for the whole clip with 27 seconds around that. The standard shells will not be the best one with 248, but I'm guessing you're gonna shoot gold the whole clip anyway because then you have over 300. The reload time for the whole clip is the fastest one, but the intra-clip reload will be with 5 seconds one of the longest, which I don't know how this should work kind of, because that's something maybe for late game where you can just farm like the last enemies which can't defend themselves anymore. For everything else, I think that intra-clip reload is already single shooter length, so it will not come in handy that much. So looking at the aim time, the gun handling will be one of the best ones for those kind of tanks, and it also can be lowered pretty good. So what we can see here already is you will have a fairly decent gun with an almost comedically long intra-clip reload, which will kind of force you to play as a single shooter most of the time. Looking at the mobility, the AMX definitely is here the fastest one, though with 46 kilometers per hour and not the worst terrain resistance values. Most likely it will be able to reach the 46 kilometers per hour, but I would say the speed would be something between okay and mediocre. So let's take a look at the tank stats if we max that thing out, kind of. So I would say standard will be brothers in arms and repairs for the crew, recon, snapshot, smooth ride, off-road driving, situation awareness, and of course you will drive around with a camo paint, I hope. Those are, I would say, are the most important ones the tank should have. We already see some changes in the dispersion factors, etc. Let us put in also some food for the crew. And let's see what happens if we try to max it out with the equipment as well. Definitely I would put in some vertical stabilizer here. Now the big question is, do you want to improve the speed actually a little bit, or more even the gun handling? You could put in the mobility improvement system, which gives you 5 kilometers per hour more, which is possible to reach with that tank actually, we will see that later. But I would even say to make those shots count actually, because you are kind of forced to play it as a single shooter because of a long intra-clip reload, I would even maybe take the accuracy improvement system here. And then you have to decide basically if you want to go for the HP improvement. This never can be a really wrong choice or something like this. Maybe also the improved vents, but I don't know, I'm not such a big fan of vents if you can put in something else. Especially if you want and are able to improve the gun handling even more, which the tank is heavily relying on, I'd say. I would maybe even put in an improved final drive or bounty final drive, something like this. Let us check how it would look if we take improved final drive. So we actually have a very good gun handling, I'd say. Very low dispersion factors of 009 and 005. After firing, that thing will bloom still pretty large, but you have 5 seconds time to drive back and then aim again. Dispersion with 0.28 will be for heavy pretty accurate, I would say. Aim time with around 1.9 seconds, still not very fast. Will be possible to play with it, but rather mediocre, I'd say. View range with 436 meters will be nothing crazy, nothing special, but it will do the job definitely for a heavy tank. The DPM, all in all, is for an autoloader pretty good, I would say, even for tier 9, but still the intra-clip kind of kills it. Very funny, I think, is the fact that it doesn't have a really 360-degree turret elevation possibility, because it has to go over that commander's thing here, or driver cupola, I don't know what it exactly should be, but if you see here, the turret has to go slowly over it, so it's not crushing against it, so that's a little bit funny, I'd say. So let's take a look with that equipment I just chose, and very importantly the off-road driving skill of the driver, which is very important to actually be able to reach the max speed in soft terrain. Let us take a look how long that thing will need to reach its top speed. In hard terrain, around 50 seconds, I would say, something like this, when you reach the 46 kilometers. Medium terrain, it's almost the same with off-road driving skill. Soft terrain, basically the same, so you have to count with around 15 seconds, which I think is pretty long. It would be nice, like 10 seconds or something like this. For a heavy, it's still not such a big problem. It will be more of a mobile heavy, definitely, but you will feel those 15 seconds very much. But also, you just need 5 seconds for at least 30 kilometers per hour, so it's getting its speed fairly nicely done to at least move out of a position pretty quickly. If you don't use the accuracy improvement system and you go, for example, for the mobility or also for a turbo or something like this, things will not change much at all. In 15 seconds on hard terrain, you will reach around 49 kilometers per hour, so the 46 are here with around 12 seconds, so 3 seconds faster. And then to reach the whole 51, you need around 70 seconds. I guess it depends on the map if you want more mobility or better gun handling. With medium terrain and soft terrain, it's almost the same. Around 80 seconds in soft terrain to reach with 51 kilometers per hour, but also when are you driving around that much with the heavy and driving around for almost 20 seconds to reach the top speed when normally you are at the corner you wanted to be. In around 5 seconds here you reach the 35 kilometers per hour. On hard terrain, 5 seconds will be basically the same. Rather quickly to get out of a position or to drive back or forward, but to reach a top speed it will take a little bit longer. Let's go back to the accuracy improvement and take a look about the gun handling. You have to take now here look, of course, again at the blue line. So if you move a little bit or something like this, it will be around 1.8 seconds to be fully aimed, which is fairly good, I would say. Then you can do your shot and have to wait 5 seconds. So this is actually a little bit too long. You will be fully aimed before your intra clip actually has reloaded. But because you are kind of forced to play it as a single loader, I would say you have to drive back, then you have to drive forward again, and then you want to be reloaded as fast as possible. And also fully aimed as fast as possible. So if you click here stationary after shot, you will see some similarities because of the equipment. If you don't have equipment, this will change a little bit more. But with around 1.8 seconds after firing, you will be also fully aimed. So the thing is, then you have to wait 3 seconds more until the next shell is in your clip. So I think this whole gimmick of the tank is something for late game, and the rest is just like more peekaboo techniques. Let us take a fast look on the shell velocity. The standard ammunition is kind of decent, but nothing special with around 1045. Around 240 penetration is not too crazy. I'd say play that thing full gold if you want to play it. Then you have pretty fast shell velocity, also around 300 penetration, so 280 to 304. It's pretty good for a heavy tank, which is kind of forced to play more or less mid-range or close range. Funny enough, thinking about it, maybe that tank is also a good sniper, actually, with that very good gun handling. If you just go all in for it, you can also camp in early game and try to make your shots from far away, and then in the late game go in with your fast speed, or at least overly mediocre speed, and hunt for the already damaged enemies, and then you can make use of your clip, actually, because then you can trade HP better than the enemy can with a single shooter. So that's the H3. I don't know what you think about it. I think it will be a mediocre, well-balanced tank, which will just suffer against all the other OP tanks, but if every tank would be more or less balanced like this, that should work. It's a little bit sad you have to shoot in low tier gold against it to be definitely penetrating it. I would say the play strategy should be actually at the early game rather play a little bit more from a distance to make use of the gun handling, and in late game use the speed and the clip with a good DPM and trade shots effectively against single shooters. Then I think that tank will be good, but nothing special. If it's worth for you to grind that, you have to decide that for yourself. I'm not gonna go for that, actually. I have enough premium tanks, which I'm not playing at all, so that would be just another one of these. And I think a problem is also for grinding credits if you have to shoot gold, which is more or less required now with tier 9 playing against tier 10 and tier 11. You have to shoot the better shells, which is APCR here, and then it will not become such a successful credit grinder. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you are going to grind that tank, if you are interested in it, if you like the playstyle, if you think it will be very good or very bad. Thank you guys for watching, and cheers bros.